Some shows talk about one team. Other shows barely talk sports. This show will talk Packers, Brewers, and Bucks every day. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily with Steve Sparky Fifer, served up by Wendy's on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan. Download the Wendy's app today.
I got a funny story about Wendy's. I gotta share the funny story. Then we'll get into the Bucks, a former Celtic that might be lining up to get a deal done. We'll get to that here. And then Andrew Wagner, Forbes Sports, Inside the Clubhouse, brought to you by Focus Baseball at 3:20. Charlie Sounds of the Day coming up at 3:40. 4 o'clock hour, Nate Snead. South Milwaukee's Nate Snead. Prospects Baseball's Nate Snead. Tennessee Volunteers, Nate Snead. And now Los Angeles Angels draft pick Nate Snead, won in the third round. He'll join us coming up at 4:20. And then David Sampson, former Marlins president and now host of Nothing Personal, David Sampson. He will join us coming up at 4:40, talk about the Brewers trade deadline and all that fun stuff. So last night, I'm at Wendy's. Went to the kids' baseball game and then went home. She took the kids, God bless her, and I went by myself. Okay? So they give me the order of whatever they want. So I head over to Wendy's, make my order, I pull up, and I'm waiting for my food and to do the points, all that other stuff. Some dude in the car behind me in the drive-thru, I have no idea how he knew it was me. Like, all you see is my arm. I don't think I stuck my head out, so maybe he had his window down and recognized my voice.
You got a pretty big head, Sparky. I think
do.
I could see that from the back windshield.
Face. That's a very fair point. I'm in a minivan, though, so I guess. But anyways, either way. So the dude yells out, "Hey, Sparky!" And I look at my rear. He's like hanging out the way. "Hey, what's up?" I was like, "Hey, what's up, man?" That was funny. That's a first for me. I've never had that one happen before. I've never had anybody recognize me, like literally from a car behind me in a Wendy's drive-thru.
It's the YouTube, Sparky.
You think that's what it is?
I think people are starting to see your face a little bit more now. They start to recognize you a little bit more.
Maybe. You can stream us live at youtube.com/@thefanmilwaukee, youtube.com/@thefanmilwaukee. And, of course, we got all kinds of food. I got my couple double stacks, all that stuff. And then it was Frosty Swirls and Frosty Fusions time for the family. So, if you love Wendy's classic chocolate, vanilla, frosty flavors, there's some big news. They're all new Frosty Swirls and new Frosty Fusions. Same creamy treat you've always loved, now with a flavor refresh. So, what are these new flavors? Okay, we got the Frosty Swirls, strawberry, brownie, batter, and caramel. One of the caramel ones with the vanilla base went to the ladies in the house last night. And the Frosty Fusions, which Jackson and I had the Oreo brownie fusion, along with the chocolate base, which was delicious. Caramel Crunch and Pop-Tart Strawberry as well as one of your Frosty Fusions. Clock in for the sweet treat time with Wendy's all-new Frosty flavors. A refresh on a classic. It's got to be Wendy's. All right, let's talk about this Milwaukee Bucks basketball team. As we are looking at this right now, I have a couple of things that I'm interested in. I'm interested in seeing if they are lining up to make a trade or not. Right. We've talked about R.J. Barrett. We've talked about Kuminga. We've talked about these guys that maybe they have some interest in. Moving the Andre Jackson guaranteed portion of the salary and all that, that's also interesting. I wonder if they're getting ready to get out of the Andre Jackson business on this basketball team. But, Charlie, you have the audio over there, correct? From Charlie Sounds of the Day yesterday.
I do, yes.
So, Mark Spears, who's a longtime NBA writer, yesterday talked about former Boston Celtics center/forward Al Horford and interest that he may have around the league as he is still available.
And then obviously the one that everybody's worrying about is Al Horford. Like, what's going to happen with Al Horford? You know, Golden State obviously expected him to sign last week. He didn't. Lakers, Milwaukee, Atlanta, I believe, are also interested in the nearly 40-year-old guy who also has retirement on the table.
Right.
He's still considering retiring. He's not in any hurry. He's got a 6th kid coming on the way. He lives in Atlanta and Boston in the offseason. But I'm hearing that whether it's Golden State or, lesser extent if it's the Lakers, like being away from his family that far isn't going to be in that decision.
So that was Spears yesterday. And we've heard the Bucks now come up in ties to Al Horford. would you want to see the Bucks go out and add Al Horford? Nice and simple question, not too complicated. Yay or nay to adding an Al Horford to this team? As you sit right now, as we said, you have Portis and Giannis as the 4, even though Giannis is going to run the offense. But Portis and Giannis at the 4. And then your starting center, obviously, is Miles Turner. And then you have a half of a backup center who can't score behind them that can only dunk. So, an Al Horford, if you bring him in, that allows you to have a stretch 5, if that's where you want to play him. Give you a little bit of rebounding. But this, again, to a certain degree, is similar to Von Miller that I brought up in the second segment of the show on the Green Bay Packers. Very similar type deal, where you're bringing in a guy that's been around a while, just won a championship, has been a rival of the Bucks, and can bring something to that locker room that maybe the Bucks have never had. Whatever that is, whether it's the swag that comes with Al Horford, whether it's a mentality that comes along with Al Horford and how he believes you have to play, whether it's knowledge about how guys want to attack Giannis or knowledge about how guys want to attack Kuzma or whatever. But all of that insight that you get from a veteran that's been around for 100 years in the NBA, there is some value to that, even if Al Horford doesn't play. Do you know where Al Horford is most valuable, Charlie?
Where's that?
Not going against the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah.
That's where he's most valuable. That dude has killed the Bucks forever. Forever. To have him just in a Bucks uniform and not having to play against him is worth the price of admission by itself, knowing we don't got to deal with Al Horford in the playoffs because he's on our team. Now, he may have the career worst year shooting the basketball and be a Bucks nightmare still, but I can't imagine it's going to cost all that much to get Al Horford at this point at the end of his career. You just have to sell them or him on that you can compete for a championship and you've got a better opportunity. This whole talk of Horford to the Warriors and everything else, according to Mark Spears, he don't want to really go to the West Coast. So if that's the case, now we're talking Atlanta and Milwaukee. Milwaukee's Midwest, boop, right there in the middle. He may not like the snow, but he was in Boston. They get snow in Boston. Maybe not as much as Milwaukee, but they get snow in Boston. It gets cold in Boston, so he's been living with that for some time. So that's not going to scare him off. I think it makes a lot of sense to go get Al Horford. Now, it goes against everything you've been saying this whole time, which is we don't want to get older. We want to get younger. Miles Turner, you got younger. Cole Anthony, you got younger from Damian Lillard, right? So everything you've done has been getting younger. So the fact that they're tied to him, I wonder what that means. Like, does that mean they called to see, like, hey, how much are you talking about? Or would he have interest? And then did it end after one call? Or has there been ongoing conversations? That's what I would like to know. All right, let's go. Would you want to see the Bucks add former Celtics forward center Al Horford and Bucks nemesis Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250, Facebook and Twitter at The Fan Milwaukee. Also, don't forget, check us out. Stream us on your Odyssey app, Audacy. He is the one and only KJ in West Dallas. You're up. Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. What's up, KJ?
Hey, this will be real fast. Hell with a no. We don't need to be getting guys that is old as Methuselah, and I've never liked him anyway. So thanks for taking my call. Bye-bye.
All right, thanks for the call. See? Now, again, that was something I'd say, right? Screw this dude. I never liked him, don't want him anywhere near me. Now, if you were to bring up Jimmy Butler, that would be my response. Screw Jimmy Butler. I don't want Jimmy Butler anywhere near my team. No interest. The difference to me between Horford and Jimmy Butler is I don't ever remember, and if you know, by all means, reach out and tell me. I don't ever remember reading, seeing, hearing, anything of the sort, or watching a story on TV about Al Horford being a bad teammate, about Al Horford kind of separating himself from the team, or Al Horford dividing a locker room. I don't remember Al Horford ever being involved in any of those stories. I've seen it with Jimmy Butler, right? So when I say I don't want Jimmy Butler, yeah, he's good, but screw him. I don't like Jimmy Butler. To me, I feel okay saying that because I have good reasons other than just not liking the dude. Al Horford, yes, I hate that he's a Bucks killer. Yes, he's broken my heart a couple of times in my life. Yes, he has. But to move on from that and go, can he help? Can he help in any way, shape, or form? I think he can still help Charlie.
I think he is what Brook Lopez was for you. And I think if you have that coming off your bench, that's not a bad thing. I just don't think you want that in your starting lineup. But right now, since you signed Miles Turner, you don't really have to worry about that. I don't think there's a world where Al Horford overtakes Miles Turner in that starting lineup. And I think they play pretty similar styles of basketball, which, again, like I've talked about, you want consistency within this rotation. And you want somebody who can go in there, no matter who's out there with Giannis, can perform the same kind of duties, no matter, again, who's out there. And you want somebody who can kind of do what Giannis can do a little bit too. And the combo of a Miles Turner and a Al Horford can help you out on the defensive side of the ball in that facet as well.
And then we don't got to play Jericho Sims as much.
And then you don't got to play Jericho Sims. You probably trade him or something. Figure something else out for him.
Even though there's a video of him hitting jumpers with his left hand all of a sudden. I'm not sure where that started.
Probably not happening in game.
Well, but I mean, what brought that about?
I don't know.
Hey,
Ben Simmons shoots threes every offseason, and we never see him shoot a three.
No, you're right. But like, what's the conversation? Like, hey, man, you really suck shooting the basketball. Why don't you just try the other hand, see what happens? And all of a sudden, swish, swish, swish. You're like, hot damn, maybe I'm left-handed. I didn't know it after all this time.
That'd be pretty crazy to find that out this late in your career.
Because there are some parents that will screw around with kids when they're coming up, right? Now, these, again, me and Charlie have talked about obsessive parents. These are those crazy parents that will not allow their kid to throw a baseball with their right hand, and they make them throw with their left hand because they want their kid to be a left-handed pitcher and get to the big leagues. Lots more of those parents than you actually even realize, right? Then there are other parents, and I know one, that didn't want to go out and spend all the money and are trying to find left-handed or a right-handed glove for a left-handed thrower. Didn't want to go buy left-handed golf clubs and everything else. So always put the ball and everything in the right hand to make it easier for them later in life, even though the kid was left-handed.
I mean, that makes a little more sense than forcing him to be left-handed.
So I'm just saying, you don't know what this dude's deal is. Who knows,
That's
man?
true.
Maybe he really was playing with the wrong hand the whole time. I don't know. Just throwing it out there. Let's see. Where are we going to now? The Chunk of Love. Cutter Hayes Chunk of Love joins us now here on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line. What's up, Chunk of Love?
Oh, man, now I'm just getting all the affirmation from you. I love it there, Sparky.
This is what we got to come up with. And you're a very creative person. And Charlie's fairly creative. I want to have, I'm thinking about having maybe like theme songs or something for when callers come on. I think for like a regular callers, like something we can play as they come on real quick.
Maybe I'll ask them each when they come on here.
No, we're not asking them.
Get a vibe.
No.
Not for like a specific song, just for a vibe.
This is old back in the day. We used to do that on the morning shows.
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah, I had Shiny Happy People with REM. That was always my jam.
That's correct.
Yes. Oh, it felt so good.
Going a little old school. Exactly correct. Yes. All right, go ahead.
Well, I had to call in. So here's the difference. I know you made the same comparison to Von Miller and the Packers.
Yeah.
But where do the Packers rank in terms of age?
No, they're at the bottom.
Exactly. And where do the Bucks rank in terms of age?
I don't know where they rank now, but they were the oldest or one of the oldest. Yes.
And I'm telling you right now, adding Al Ram Horford isn't going to help one bit.
But Chunk of Love, they only have, I think, 2 players that are 30 or older right now on this roster. This roster's been completely redone. Brook Lopez is gone. Damian Lillard is gone. They moved Middleton last year. Like, there is nobody of significantly old age on this roster anymore.
Yeah, but you have to look towards the future as well. And I know you were only thinking about Al Horford for a year,
right?
And all that. But if there is an option to get someone, R.J. Barrett's been thrown around so many times, but if we can get R.J. Barrett for 2 years, that to me is more beneficial than 1 year of benched Al Horford.
That's true. But do you think Al Horford could hurt the Bucks if he were to end up in the Eastern Conference in a postseason again?
I mean, worst comes to worst, he becomes a Martellus Bennett for the Packers, and then we're going to have another issue. But I don't think so. Al Horford is he's just old, man. There's just nothing else about it. He's got his sights set on post-career, and this is just kind of patting his bags a little bit.
All right. Thanks for the call, Chunk of Love and Cudahy. Cudahy's Chunk of Love.
I love that.
You love what?
Just the chunk of love, hunk of love. I feel like we just need to commission a song for them. Like, I think it's perfect.
So the hunk of love and the chunk of love are brothers.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know. Both Cudahy's very own. To going along with everything else. All right. Let's see. Let's go to John and Franklin. You're next. Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line here on Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's with me, Steve Sparky Fifer. What's going on, John?
What's happening, Sparky? I love you getting run down in the drive-thru. You are a star.
Shut up. All right. Do you want Al Horford or don't you?
Absolutely not.
Come on. What is it with all you people?
We just got rid of a center with a cane. Now we're going to have one with a walker. No, absolutely not. My man KJ is absolutely right. And Spark, let's do the walk-up music, man. I love that.
You like it? Yeah, I think it would be fun.
Love it.
It would be something different. I don't know if any other talk shows in town do it, but I think it would be something different and fun. John, I appreciate you, buddy. Have a good day. There he is, John and Franklin. I shouldn't say this, but it's funny. So where we live, we were coming down, and it's a pretty busy thoroughfare, this road that we live by in Oak Creek. And it was I think it's I don't know if it's senior living, whatever else. Man, there were 5 or 6 people, all with their walkers in front of them, enjoying the summer night the other night, all sitting out in front, kind of hanging out. And when he said the cane thing with Brooke Lopez, I just started laughing and started thinking about Brooke Lopez and Robin Lopez sitting out there hanging out.
I could imagine that.
Later in life at Disney World watching the fireworks over the Magic Kingdom.
Exactly. That's exactly where they're going to be. No doubt. You're probably going to be right there next to them.
Hell yes. Yes, I would be. Yes, sir. Absolutely. I'm all about that life. I'd be more than fine doing that. If that's the way we want to go, we can definitely go that way. All right, coming up next, Andrew Wagner, who at last check-in was outside building a fence. I am very happy that I have no skills whatsoever when it comes to doing stuff like that.
I think you could figure it out.
Wagner makes good money on it. I'm just telling you, I'm very happy that I don't. Hammer, nails, me, not a thing. Just no.
Should we get Wagner in here for the foosball
Fixing
table?
Stuff, whatever. I could probably put that together with you and Tommy and a couple other people in the building. But we'll see. But now we're talking about getting a couch in here. Did you hear the latest on that?
I did hear that. I'm very excited about that.
Now, the couch that Gary Hellerson and I had bought for said studio years ago, the fools over at Kiss FM took from us and put over there when we lost everybody. So now they've got it over there, and that one's kind of disgusting at this point. So we're going to get another nice one to bring in here that's not all kind of weirded out like that one is.
All right, I'm excited.
Yeah, it should be fun.
I could always use a little nap sometimes.
You and Tommy live here anyhow. I might as well have somewhere to sleep, too. Right now, your fan forecast, weather forecast, 87 degrees, partly cloudy skies. Air quality alert back in play again. You got to be kidding me. Until 11 o'clock tonight. And remember, in the last hour, I said storm chances for tomorrow afternoon. I believe it was 40-some% chance. It is now 62% chance.
All right. Storm
chances for tomorrow afternoon. See, the stuff you learn on the fan forecast in this coming out of this 15 break every hour is just, it's really amazing. I love it because I'm looking at it all the time anyhow and bothering Charlie. Now I get to bother all of you too. Up next, Andrew Wagner as we go inside the clubhouse. Forbes Sports Brewer writer brought to you by Focus Baseball. Straight ahead on Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. Live from the 1250 AM at 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Welcome back. Wisconsin Sports Daily served up by Wendy, Sparky, Charlie Usen producing, other side of the glass. Potawatomi Sportsbook, that's where you're going to want to be. Whether it was for the home run derby last night, the All-Star game tonight, all kinds of wagers I'm sure you can make on the All-Star game tonight would be my guess. Second half of the season comes up starting on Friday with the Brewers. And again, 30 sporting events at one time, 2,000 square foot center screen at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It is the best place to watch any sporting event right now. 6,500 square feet, 2 levels. That second level you can rent out for parties or meetings or whatever the case may be. It's awesome. We've rented it out here at the station to do a Mason Crosby signing, and it was amazing. So highly recommend that. The food is outstanding from the Potawatomi Sportsbook as well. Burgers, wings, sandwiches, wraps, all-day brunch, homemade pastries and desserts every day at the Potawatomi Casino Hotel to go along with that. 48 beers on tap, dozen specialty cocktails. Reserve your seat ahead of time. Nominal fee. Go sort your food and beverage costs for the night. Totally worth it. Go to Potawatomi.com/sportsbook. Potawatomi.com/sportsbook to reserve your seat today.
What's the latest on the crew? Let's go inside the clubhouse with Drew Wagner of Forbes Sports on Wisconsin Sports Daily. Served up by Wendy's on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan. Inside the Clubhouse is brought to you by Focus Baseball. Sign your kids up now for July open tryouts at focusbaseball.com. Ages 6 to 17.
I was thinking about something in the break here. Wagner is out there building a fence for somebody, making some money on the side. You are making money off of this, right, Wags?
Do I seem like the person who would do work for free?
No.
I mean, granted, judging from my paycheck, you'll have another story, but hey, nonetheless, no, I'm getting paid for it. It's a job, man. I'm a good contractor.
So why don't you have, like, intern carpenters working for you? You could have, like, intern...
Got my nephew helping out.
Oh, so there's 2 of you then at least. Okay, well, that's good then. Because, I mean, it's really hot. The air quality isn't good. We get these forecasts out of the 50s.
Oh, yeah. I just had a woman at the gas station yell at me for having my son out in such horrible conditions doing manual labor.
Yes.
And not cleaning ourselves up before coming in to get a soda.
I don't really worry about the kid. I more worry about your old behind out there and getting breathing issues and so forth. I'm more concerned for you, Wags. The kid, I'm sure, will be fine.
I haul 200 fence pickets. No problem. I'm good, man. I can handle this stuff.
All right. That's fine.
It's actually not bad out today. I thought it was going to be a lot worse. Just more fear-mongering by our meteorologist community.
I am a fear-mongering of you because I want to make sure you're good. Andrew Wagner, Forbes Sports Brewers writer, brought to you by Focus Baseball, joining us here on Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. Follow him on Twitter at @ByAndrewWagner. I just saw something come across in the commercial break, and I kind of got angry.
You?
I know, shocking. But there's a report from the Sports Business Journal that the Cubs and Giants are reportedly in the mix to host the MLB All-Star Game in the near future. The 3 cities, which last hosted in the 90s, Toronto, Baltimore, and Boston, are also angling to bring the game back as well. What a crock of crap that is. We got a tie for our All-Star Game. A freaking tie. If anybody's due back an All-Star Game, it's Milwaukee, Drew.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the Brewers have bid on it. It just doesn't get leaked. I mean, I'm sure they would love to have another one here. I mean, they want to showcase the stadium. I mean, I'm going to guess, though, that if they're going to do it, they're going to wait until this latest round of renovations is done because, all kinds of stuff's going to happen to the park.
Well, the euchre exhibit for sure.
Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if it comes back. But here's the other thing. Putting on an event like that is also a giant pain in the rear end for the teams that are hosting it.
Sure.
It is a ton of extra work. It is expensive. It is stressful, because you're still dealing with a season. MLB comes in and basically takes over your facility. So, yeah, it'd be nice to have one. I'm sure the Brewers would like to have one in the future. But at the same time, I could see them being like, you know what? We good. We got enough that we got to deal with. we're just going to focus on that.
But there's got to be a huge financial impact for
There
the
is
team.
I think it's not so much for the team as it is the community, because the team doesn't get the revenue from the tickets.
True.
That's the big thing. Yeah, you get the parking concession, but basically you pay all this money to put on an event, and MLB gets the profits out of it. The community gets a great benefit from all the hotels and all that stuff. But yeah, it's not like it's a moneymaker for teams. It's a prestige thing. It's a bragging rights thing.
Right. Yeah. No, and I get that. Talking with Andrew Wagner as we go inside the clubhouse here, Four Sports Brewers writer, brought to you by Focus Baseball here on the Fan. All right, let's talk about this Brewers baseball team. They've been red hot heading into this All-Star break. They sweep the Nationals on the way out. Do you think this whole Andrew Vaughn thing is real?
It's 4 games. I listen. I think it has a chance to be, and I guess maybe that's a cop-out answer.
Well, let me throw a name out there for 1 second. Let me throw a name. The last time this team was in the NLCS was 2018. We went back and looked at that roster in the last segment of the last hour. Jesus Aguilar had his all-star year that year. That was the only time he's really put up those type of numbers. And Charlie and I were just talking what if Andrew Vaughn has his Aguilar moment for the Brewers here in the second half? That changes everything for this offense.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt, and that's why I say I think he can be. I'm not going to go out there after 4 games and say he's the answer. I'm also going to say after 4 games, it's not real. I think he has a chance to be. Listen, the guy is really good. He was a number 3 draft pick for a reason. He was a spectacular hitter in college. He would have been an even better hitter in the big leagues, I think, if he would have gotten the appropriate time in the minor leagues to develop. Remember, he lost the whole season because of COVID, and then kind of got shoved into different positions because of everything that the Sox are trying to do. I think some stability. I think new scenery. I think new voices in his ear. I think a new way of looking at things will only benefit this guy. Is he going to be the answer long term? That's up to him. If he keeps producing, he'll keep getting put in the lineup every day. That's what it basically comes down to. Is it going to change when Hoskins comes back? Probably, but he's got to go out these next couple of weeks and do everything he can and keep producing and make it a hard decision.
Do we know, or do you think, that when Pat Murphy decided to put out this rotation coming out of the break, that he was eyeing up different series in the second half? So counting out days to see who would line up against the Cubs coming up at the end of the month.
I think so.
Because this rotation coming out of Priester and then Peralta and then Quintana to start it off, and then that's in L.A. against the Dodgers, and then to go to Seattle with Mizorowski and Woodruff is not something I don't think Brewers fans would have necessarily drawn up when you're lining up your rotation. And that's why I think I haven't counted it off, but I would imagine this puts them in a position to have Woodruff and Mizorowski in that series against the Cubs.
I'm sure the nerd herd of Jack and Kurt, who have nothing better to do with their lives and sit and look at the calendar and the rotation, are counting it out right now as we speak. But I, like you, have a life and haven't.
Yeah.
That said, I do absolutely believe that they've taken that into consideration. Why wouldn't you? You have to. You're lining this up that you're going for it now. You're game out. The race is on. It's there for the taking. And listen, the Brewers have a tough schedule down the stretch. It is. I think it's one of the top 10 hardest schedules in terms of strength of opponents. So yeah, you're lining this up to hit at the right time in the right series.
We were looking at this too earlier for Jacob Mizorowski. As far as, is there a minimum requirement for a Cy Young Award winner? Charlie said there is not. Raleigh Fingers did it back in 81 without even pitching 80 innings in the closer role. Burns, when he won it, was just over 160. I would assume if Mizorowski pitches out and if they don't do the smart thing and kind of not have him pitch every 5th day, if they let him go all the way through, he's going to be somewhere around 150 or so probably before this whole thing is said and done, before you get to the postseason. If he ends up winning the Cy Young here, on the way out here, I mean, that changes everything. I mean, there's a report out that, they're talking with him and have been talking with him since the beginning of the year, him and his representation about a contract extension. He goes and does.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a second.
You don't believe they're talking?
That for a second. Maybe they have checked in now, but I saw that tweet last weekend, and I did not believe it then. I do not believe it now. Listen, the Brewers were not sure what they had in Jacob Mizorowski going into the season. They were not. They still weren't sure if he was going to cut it as a starter. So I highly doubt that they were sitting there and being ready to offer a guy like this a 10-year deal like Churio when they still didn't know if he was going to be a starter or not. Maybe they were looking at an Aaron Ashby type deal, but I don't think they had that conversation going into the season because nobody really knew what they were going to see out of Jacob Mizorowski last year. Because remember, they moved him to the bullpen late last year because he still didn't have those secondary pitches and his command was still way off. So to say that the Brewers are sitting there looking up long-term, it boggles the mind. And especially with a guy like that where you're risking, let's face it, the guy's a Tommy John waiting to happen. I don't think you're going to lock a guy into a long-term contract like that until you've eliminated as many of those doubts as possible.
You talk about and Charlie brought this up yesterday, Garrett Crochet being a guy with the White Sox who they eventually shut down and then moved off of relatively quickly. And he got, $28 million a year. I mean, if his agent uses that as a barometer after this year, you're talking like $30 million a year for 7 or 8 years. I just don't see how the Brewers could possibly afford that.
I just don't see it being a wise investment. If he's looking for the life-changing 7-year deal now, it's too risky with a pitcher. It is too risky with a young pitcher. Because, again, there's two types of pitchers. Guys who've had Tommy John, guys who are going to have Tommy John. That's just the nature of the game right now. Maybe they talk about it more after this season.
True.
But I highly doubt they're going into it right now.
But look at it from this perspective. Let's say they give him a 7-year contract extension or an 8-year contract. Let's say it's 8. 8-year contract extension goes till he's 31. Even if he ends up having Tommy John, we've seen guys come back stronger and better after Tommy John eventually.
And that's true, too. That's another way of looking at it. My point is, I don't think they've brought that topic up yet. I do not believe that report, France. It was something Romero, I think it was.
Correct. Yep.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
He is Andrew Wagner as we go inside the clubhouse here, brought to you by Focus Baseball. Again, Focus Baseball tryouts going on this month. All you got to do is go to focusbaseball.com to get your kids signed up be on one of those Focus Baseball teams for next summer. Apparently, Kurt Hogue, what do you call him? Stupid Kurt? Is that what you call him?
Stupid Kurt.
Stupid Kurt, yeah. He has reported, apparently, that Mizorowski scheduled to pitch here in the 7th inning tonight for the All-Star game. You tell me, I don't remember ever being told what inning guys were pitching in for the Brewers previously. And if this is real and if this is actually going to go down as the 7th inning, that is a great move by Major League Baseball to push him to the back end of this game to continue to be able to tease him the entire night and put the camera on him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember ever hearing an announcement like that. We got the text message yesterday from Brewers Media Relations in a rare moment of relating to the media. I'm like, well, that's unheard of. So maybe it's just a different way they're charting things out, and maybe they're doing it to help guys get ready. Using a lot of starters in relief roles, so it makes sense to do it. But yeah, I think it's a great move, like pitching him the 7th.
Question.
I was joking with Mitch the other day, it's kind of half expecting him to go to Miz in the 3rd inning and just give him the rest of the game to burn his arm out, so he won't have to face him next weekend in L.A.
I have a question. What inning is McGill pitching in?
No clue.
That wasn't on the text.
That was not
on the text. Not on the text. No. Again, this is made for TV stuff here. Major League Baseball ain't screwed around. I got this sensation. I want everybody to know when we're pitching them so everybody can make sure to promote it that way. They'll promote it that way on the broadcast all night.
That goofy thing they had during the World Series, Shohei Ohtani not playing in this game, and they had the bug up for most of the game.
That's true. That's a good one. Yes,
No, I
absolutely.
mean, it's a smart move by baseball. Like, listen, I've said this with Tommy. I've said this with Mason. Like, baseball sucks at promoting its young players.
It does.
It sucks at promoting itself.
I agree.
It shoots itself in the foot more than I do dating. So, yeah, they're finally doing the right thing. Like, let's go out and showcase these guys. The NBA's been doing it for years, almost to a detriment of showcasing player over team. It's about time MLB pulled its head out of its rear end and said, we've got to market these guys.
He is Andrew Wagner, Forbes Sports Brewers writer. Follow him on Twitter at @ByAndrewWagner. He joins us every Tuesday and Friday. And, of course, you catch him with Tommy Wirtz with the leadoff show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook before every Brewers game. Next game there coming up on Friday night in L.A. Mr. Wagner, thank you so much, and enjoy your fence building.
I actually need to go down to the Potto Sportsbook and put some wagers on tonight's softball game.
Excuse me?
That's my next stop.
You're
yeah,
still
tonight's
playing?
We got a softball doubleheader. Yeah, we have a lot of rainouts to make up. So we have a doubleheader tonight, and I'm going to bet that we lose both by a combined 40 points, 40 runs.
Hold on a second. The pictures you sent me, you're still playing?
Spring and summer league, baby.
Can we start a pool on the air of when you get hurt next?
I haven't been hurt in weeks. That was one time.
I'm just telling you, man.
I've got the best speed and agility on that team.
Old people should not be doing this type of stuff. I just don't think it's a good idea. People end up blowing out ACLs and everything else because your body's just not meant to go through the rigors. Ask Kevin Holder, for God's sakes. That's a perfect example of an old guy that got hurt playing softball.
How much hustle do you think there is in whale poop open weeknight softball in the burbs?
Well, I have no idea. I think we should probably come and watch at some point just to see what this looks like. But yeah. So you're saying there's not a lot of running and hustling after softball?
It's like our entire team is made up of 2002 Jose Hernandez.
A lot of strikeouts. That's too bad.
A lot of strikeouts.
All right, Mr. Wagner. I'll see you later. There he is, Andrew Wagner, Forbes Sports Brewers writer, brought to you by Focus Baseball. They hustle at Focus Baseball. Sign your kid up. Hustle to the website and sign your kids up for tryouts. FocusBaseball.com. And they start as young as 6 all the way up to 17, man. Go sign them up today. FocusBaseball.com. I don't think it's a good idea. I try to tell him.
Let the man play. He's got a dream.
I just worry about him, man. He's getting older and body starts breaking down.
Hey, he's out here building fences in the heat. I think he can play a little softball, too. I think he's all right.
You love Taki Fuego chips? Listen up, because you've never had them like this. Wendy's new Taki Fuego meals are here, baby. This Sammy has the Taki Fuego chip intensity you love piled up on one of their very fan-favorite spicy chicken sandwiches with Taki Fuego chips, chili lime sauce, creamy corn spread. The small Fuego fries get tossed in an intense chili lime seasoning. It's almost like this meal couldn't take any more Taki Fuego chip intensity. That's where the extra 1 ounce bag of Taki Fuego chips on the side comes in. Well, while supplies last, you can grab these Taki Fuego meals at Wendy's at midnight or later, limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. He joined us, did Mr. Wagner, on the Fan Gas Hotline powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Up next, Charlie's Sounds of the Day. Oh, where will we go today? Find out on Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's, broadcasting live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Wisconsin Sports Daily served up by Wendy, Steve Sparky, Fifer, Charlie using the other side of the glass. Us Days is going on right now, but time's running out. This bad boy's been going since June 12th, y'all. Since June 12th. You had over a month. It ends tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day of Us Days. I know, what's Us Days, Sparky? I've only heard you talk about it 3 times a day for how long? Okay, I'll tell you again. If you're a U.S. Cellular customer, you could participate in Us Days. If you're a U.S. Cellular customer, you've probably had the text messages sent you, all the great deals they have going on every other day. It's just awesome. And it's an exclusive event to celebrate loyal customers like myself. Been with them over 10 years, 12 years, 15 years. I really should go to a store and find out. But it's been over a decade for certain. I'm pretty sure we're closer to 20 years, more than I'm closer to 10 years at this point with U.S. Cellular. No issues with customer service. I had one issue with a phone one time, which was a crappy phone at that. I think it was an LG. Went back in. The guy laughed and said, yeah, this is why they're getting out of making the phone business. And swapped out the phone. I was all good, and we moved on with my life. It was beautiful. Never had any issues with U.S. Cellular. I recommend them to everybody. So this Us Days thing that's going on right now celebrates loyal customers with unique offers. This includes big discounts on new phones and tablets, plus other giveaways and events. These parking lot parties have been going on for the last month. DJs, food trucks, bag games. Everybody's got something different with the Us Cellular parties that they've got going on. Find the nearest one to you at uscellularparty.com. Again, uscellularparty.com. It ends tomorrow. Customers who visit a store or the website can check out the best upgrade offers of the season while Us Days is going on again through tomorrow, July 16th. You'll definitely want to do that.
What sound clips will Chicago Charlie pick today for Sparky? Will Sparky become enraged? Will laughter ensue? It's time for Charlie's Sound of the Day. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's on The Fan.
Don't forget, check us out on YouTube. Streaming all of our local shows on YouTube right now. We got our shorts that we put up every day as well. Interviews are put up. Plus the shows themselves, after they're streamed, they go right to YouTube too. Check all of it out. YouTube.com. Look for @TheFanMilwaukee. Use that @ symbol, @TheFanMilwaukee. Like and subscribe. Be a part of the family here with The Fan on 1250 AM, 105.7 FM. And YouTube now as well. Never really understood that fascination with people wanting to see people doing radio. But clearly, as we are 30 years too late to this party, it has become a thing. Like, people are all about, like, the Score. Now, our sister station down in the Score, man. Like, it is amazing by how many people watch those fools.
I mean, there's something to seeing hand movements, something to seeing
expressions
facial
on their faces, laughter, so forth.
Makes some jokes a little funnier, that makes some reactions a little crazier.
But there are moments in time in this radio station's history where I'm glad there were no cameras. Michael Clemens without a shirt on. Bart Winkler naked.
See, but that's the type
those are things we don't need on cameras or video.
But people also like seeing that stuff.
Nobody
Sparky.
wants to see Bart Winkler naked, and nobody wanted to see Mike Clemens without his shirt on. Trust me, I was there for all of it. You don't want to see any of it.
Fair enough.
No. I'd be like, no. Disgusting. No. So I'm glad we didn't have cameras back then for all this. All right, what do we got?
First up here, we're going to head over to the Home Run Derby last night. I mentioned it a little bit earlier in the show. Brent Rooker lost in the semifinals to home run leader in the major leagues right now, Cal Raleigh of the Seattle Mariners. This is Brent Rooker after the game discussing the rule that ended his run.
It was less than an inch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't. I know but we're both at 471, because that's obviously the number that they put up there. Maybe if they have it to the decimal point, they should display that during the Derby and not wait till everyone's done to bring out that information. That might be helpful.
I don't know if you know how accurate StatCast is on measurements, but when it's less than an inch, you think maybe something like a swing off might be a better.
Yeah, maybe. It is what it is. Obviously, had a great time out there. Cal's a great competitor. He had to put on a good performance too. So, rules are the rules in terms of what makes up the semifinals.
Did you not get your full complement of pitches in the first round?
Yeah, I think I only had 38 balls in my crate. I think we were shorted two balls there. I think I didn't get 2 pitches that I think I was allotted, I guess.
Did you want to explain that?
Yeah, I think they told me before I went up there that I could go take 2 pitches, but we didn't know when they told me that there were only 40 balls already in the crate. So I took 2 pitches that didn't count, but then when we went to do the round, there was only 38 remaining. So we got down to have 2 pitches with like 5 seconds left, and we were out of baseballs.
That dude got screwed a ton. It's my fault. It's my fault, Charlie. I'll take the blame. He's on my fantasy baseball team. So just being associated just absolutely just screwed him out of this whole thing. I will bring up another sport here. Because bowling, the PBA Tour, in some tournaments, when they get to a certain situation of a tie game, will do a roll-off. And essentially, each guy gets, or girl, gets one ball, first one each frame, right? So you'd bowl a ball, I'd bowl a ball. You get your count, I get my count, and then highest count wins. But if you both strike, then it goes again. We both strike again, it goes again. I think was it last year, 2 years ago, there was one that went like 7 more frames with both guys striking, 7 more consecutive strikes or whatever. You could do something like that if you wanted to, where if it's a tie, you go back out there, you have somebody that is not maybe a pitcher for them, or maybe both pitchers are out there. Yeah, both pitchers can be out there. And you get 3 balls. Boom, boom, boom. 3. Whatever happens, happens. You can't take any of them. You've got to swing at all 3. It's your own guy pitching. Too bad, so sad if it doesn't work. And then best score of those 3. If you're still tied, then you get 2 pitches. If you're still tied, then you get 1 pitch, and you keep going until, somebody misses or whatever the case may be. That would add some drama to it. It would extend the time. But this never happens. You don't see this all that often.
No, you don't. And I think that both of these issues that Brent Rooker had in his home run derby experience, first, this whole by an inch thing is so dumb because, like we mentioned before, this wasn't something that's well established before the Derby. This is an event that most people look forward to more than the actual game.
Right.
And you don't have this out and ready, at least available to the players. I get it. Maybe the fans don't need to know this, but why don't the players know this? This is something that, don't you want this event to go on as long as possible? And the other thing is, if you're going to have a time limit on this event, then you shouldn't have a ball count on it. And if you're going to have a ball count, then you can't have the time limit on this. It has to be one or the other because that's how you make this more entertaining and how they have this different kind of strategy. I don't know why you want this event to go as fast as it's going. It's not entertaining that way.
It should not. If they were going to have this rule and not tell anybody, then it should have been if you tie and you have the same distance, most home runs going into the game advances. Mm-hmm. That's what you do. Because Cal Raleigh is having an unbelievable year. I'm not saying numbers were fudged or whatever this nonsense was that happened, but it's coincidental that the guy with like 38 home runs, putting up huge numbers, ends up being the guy to advance versus the guy from the Athletics who's playing in Sacramento. I mean, if we're being real, it's kind of coincidence how that whole thing played out. And the guy that advanced won the thing.
Oh, it just both those instances, plus Jazz Chisholm only hitting 3 home runs.
He was brutal.
Really just makes this event that, again, people loved kind of feel silly again.
Like, I'm sorry. Like,
that's bad.
You look at that home run derby field, there were numerous guys that didn't belong in that field. There were none of the traditional power hitters were there. And you want all the big hosses up there swinging for the fences and crushing baseballs. You want to put on a show, and you really didn't get that much of a show last night.
One of the top highlights was the guy in the finals, Junior Caminero, getting robbed by a high schooler in the outfield, man.
Yes.
That's kind of crazy. Like, we want to see the O'Neill Cruzes hitting 513 with bombs, but from everybody, not just one guy doing it a little bit.
All right, second clip.
Next up here, we're going to hear from former MLB star Alex Rodriguez on The Herd with Colin Cowherd, one of the last standing shows on FS1 after yesterday, discussing Rob Manfred and why he thinks Rob Manfred deserves to be a Hall of Famer.
I agree with you. I'm a big Rob Manfred fan, and I think he deserves a lot of credit. Little single-handedly, I mean, with the changes he's made the last 2 or 3 years to really save our game, he probably belongs in Cooperstown. But the reason why I like this, Colin, technology's made the game better. Anytime you make players and umpires more accountable, it's a great thing. Going back 10 years, that strike you see right there on the screen, 83% of the time, the umpires were getting it right. 10 years ago. Today, that number's ballooned to 97%. So it's a much better quality, much better game, much better accuracy. All those things are good. Now, the application of it, we have to go see how it works. I know they've been doing it in the minor leagues. I am really looking forward to tonight to see how that plays out because I'm a little bit on the fence, but I'm more pro because I think Rob Manfred deserves some credit. He's built some equity here over the last 3 or 4 years with his changes. And I think the game has the gift and the curse of being so married to their history. I think some of the other leagues have really pushed the envelope.
Okay, so the Hall of Fame deal with Manfred, let's talk about that comment first. Has he done a lot to help the game? Absolutely. I don't think his legacy is written until we get through the next CBA. If he clears the next CBA without losing games, without losing a full season, without losing a World Series, if he gets through that, then yeah, I would say sure, he's in. But if this ends up becoming a complete fiasco and clock's ticking and he's losing a full season possibly, because again, the CBA expires after the 26th season. So next December, not this December, but the following December, that's when everybody expects a work stoppage at that point. And then how dug in will the players union be? Now, history tells us that outside of when Donald Fear was in charge, they really don't dig in all that much. They don't have that type of representation to convince them that they need to dig in. We'll see what happens the next time around. But if Manfred can navigate his way through this and not miss, that many regular season games, All-Star game gets played, World Series gets played, all that stuff still happens, then yeah, I'd say he's an absolute shoo-in. I mean, Bud lost the World Series and probably would have lost another season had he sat there and fought for steroid testing, which he could not do because he had to get the game back. He had already lost the World Series at that point. So Bud had to do what he had to do, and he's definitely a Cooperstown guy. So I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be. As far as the automated strike technology tonight, I also am interested to see how this looks. I'm all in favor of automated strike zones and getting rid of the human element behind the plate. That person can sit there and do appeals. That person can sit there and call, foul balls to a degree, I guess, but you have the first and third base umpire for that. But you can be involved there. You can be involved in plays at the plate. Hit by pitches that umpire could still be involved in. But balls and strikes, I'm all for it being robotic one way or the other at some point.
I think we're going to see for sure how much MLB players like the ABS system tonight, because I think a lot of guys are going to use it. I think we're going to see it be pretty prevalent, and guys give it a shot in this game, because why not? I mean, it's going to be there. This is your first chance, as a lot of MLB players who all look down on it, to try it out and see if you like it or not. And I think this is going to be a pretty surefire way of seeing how all those guys feel about it. Last up here, we're going to hear from PGA Tour champion multiple times, Scotty Scheffler, on the unsatisfying venture that is pro sports.
I think it's kind of funny. I think, I think I said something after the Byron this year about it feels like you work your whole life to celebrate winning a tournament for a few minutes. It only lasts a few minutes, that kind of euphoric feeling. And to win the Byron Nelson Championship at home, I literally worked my entire life to become good at golf, to have an opportunity to win that tournament. And you win it, you celebrate, get to hug my family, my sister's there. It's such an amazing moment. And then it's like, okay, now what are we going to eat for dinner? Life goes on. Is it great to be able to win tournaments and to accomplish the things I have in the game of golf? Yeah. I mean, it brings tears to my eyes just to think about, because it's literally worked my entire life to become good at this sport, and to have that kind of sense of accomplishment, I think is a pretty cool feeling. To get to live out your dreams is very special. But at the end of the day, it's like, I'm not out here to inspire the next generation of golfers. I'm not here to inspire somebody else to be the best player in the world, because what's the point? This is not a fulfilling life. It's fulfilling from the sense of accomplishment, but it's not fulfilling from a sense of the deepest, places of your heart. There's a lot of people that make it to what they thought was going to fulfill them in life, and then you get there and all of a sudden you get to number one in the world, and then they're like, what's the point? And I really do believe that, because what is the point? You're like, why do I want to win this tournament so bad? That's something that I wrestle with on a daily basis.
Just stop
it's
this. Stop this. What is wrong with golfers? What is wrong with these guys on this tour? Maybe you should go play the Live Tour. Maybe they're more happy about their life. Between Rory McIlroy finally winning the Masters and then I don't know. I just can't find the fire anymore. I don't know. I'm kind of in that lull space. I just don't know. I listen to that crap. And now this dude talking about, whatever. Winning's not that big of a deal. It's kind of overrated winning. Da-da-da-da-da. He sounds depressed too. This dude's one of the best golfers to ever played. He sounds like he's just has the most depressed lifestyle ever. I don't know if these guys have mental, what do you want to call it? Mental wellness coaches, whatever. But they ought to. They all ought to have mental wellness coaches, because this is the second dude now we've heard go public about how they're not all that excited, they're not all that happy. I do not understand. Like, I've never heard an NFL player talk like the way these two have talked after winning a championship. I've never heard an NBA player do it. I've never heard an MLB player do it. And these golfers on this tour are doing a horrible job. He just said, I'm not here to inspire anybody, because honestly, it's not all that great anyhow. Oh boy, you want to talk about a face of a sport. You're the man, Scotty. You're the man. Like that, horrible. Absolutely horrible. Between McElroy and Scheffler, you couldn't have asked for two worse idiots to go out there and talk about the sport and talk about being successful in the sport. That both of them have worked their entire life to get to the top of the mountain. They get there and they go, yeah, this isn't all that great. I wouldn't do it. Pick something else. Like, it's one thing to work in an industry, right? Like radio, let's say. That's downsizing and downsizing and downsizing and downsizing. And for somebody to say, that may not be exactly the avenue you want to go because of the way the industry is going. Okay, that makes sense. But to sit here and say, as you were the king of the world in golf for how long, Scotty Scheffler, I'm not here to inspire anybody, because to be honest, that's not all that great. That's the absolute worst thing that could have been said. To any little kid or whatever looking up to Scotty Scheffler, pretty much going, don't waste your time, kid. Go do something else. That's horrible. I'm sorry. It's absolutely horrible. We can talk about winning, not fulfilling, and da-da-da-da-da. Okay, that's fine. I mean, you could have that take, I guess, if you want to say winning's not a big deal. Then why did you get involved? Like, I don't get it. Like, if you, there are people that say they hate losing more than they like winning. Mark Attanasio was a guy that said that. Okay, sure. But how much does he love winning? He doesn't talk about winning World Series, does he?
Nope.
Talks about providing a summer of
fun and excitement, baby.
Right. So maybe if he loved winning, maybe we'd be talking about something else possibly. Lazary and Edens, those guys came here talking about winning championships. That's what they talked about. That's all they cared about. Get a ring on my finger. Let's raise a trophy. I want to win this damn thing. And they did. They paid hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars to do it, but they accomplished their goal at the end of the day. Those are two completely different mindsets.
It is. And I think when I look at this whole interview that we heard from Scotty Scheffler, it's a 5-minute long clip. If you want to go hear the whole thing, it's out.
It's depressing.
Adam Schefter put it out there. That's where I got it from. So if you want to see it.
He's getting a lot of praise for this interview.
Well, I think it's very real. And I would argue that there probably are a decent amount of MLB, NBA, NFL players that do feel like this, but in their contracts, in the way that they're supposed to talk about the media, the questions that they get asked from the media don't lend these types of responses.
What did he get asked? What led to this 5-minute, oh, poor me soliloquy on life?
Yeah, I mean, it had to be something about...
What did they ask him? Hey, Scotty, are you happy?
They might have.
He just went off talking about all this?
They might have. I think when you look at how he's talking, it's really how a lot of normal people feel. And I think we look at this and say he probably shouldn't be feeling this way because this is how he's made millions off of this. His life is perfect for the rest of his life now because of this. And I think that's a little unfair to say. And I think when you're a golfer out of any other sport, you're alone with your thoughts more than anybody else. And in these moments when maybe you're not feeling at the top of the world, but you're supposed to be at the top of the world, it can really get to you. When he's getting arrested outside of the golf course that he's supposed to be a part of in the tournament that he's supposed to be in, that probably sucks a little bit. And he's probably thinking about that the entire tournament to himself. And that's all he's thinking about, why he's not performing up to the best in that tournament.
Yep.
I mean, he's just thinking how, again, everyday people think a lot of the time. And he's going out there and saying that. And you will not hear that from an NFL player, an MLB player, an NBA player, despite them probably feeling the same way at points.
Don't play sports, kids. Don't play sports. Winning is not a happy feeling. Don't play sports.
Not for everybody.
It's just not happy. What should we tell them to do then?
I mean, for some guys, yeah, it can be, but I don't think you should just tell him to lie all the time.
I didn't ask him to lie. I'm just
saying.
If
he doesn't feel like it's not making him happy.
This is the second dude now in that sport that is making that sport look awful. It's making it look awful. It's making it look like there's no joy, there's nothing. He literally said, I'm not going to be here to inspire these kids or anybody else. That's pretty much saying Don't waste your time.
He also said he spent almost his entire childhood working to get to this point, man. And now he's won, and now right after that, he's thinking about where he's going to dinner next. That's got to suck a little bit.
Well, absolutely. So ruin everybody else's parade that wants to get to where you are.
I don't think that's what he's doing. I think he's just telling the truth about how he feels about this.
Absolutely awful. Okay, take a quick time out. Come back on the other side. Green and Gold update. Brought to you by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We're late as always. Some fascinating numbers on Rashawn Gary's ability to get to the quarterback. Plus Nate Snead, South Milwaukee's own, Prospect Baseball's own, Tennessee Volunteers' own Nate Snead. Now a Los Angeles Angel pitcher, drafted in the 3rd round. He'll join us coming up at 4:20. Plus, teammate with the Brewers' 1st-round pick, Andrew Fisher. So we'll talk to him about him as well. David Sampson, former Florida Marlins, I guess Miami Marlins now, president back in the day, and now host of Nothing Personal with David Sampson. Get his thoughts on the Brewers, trade deadline, and the decision made by Major League Baseball to keep the Rays in that small George Steinbrenner field for the postseason. He is livid about that. We'll talk about all of that coming up next. Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's, live from the 1250 AM 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky here.